Today we're going to talk about the Khan. They are the most powerful of the Bastet tribe races, and they really like to throw it in your face. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome to the Maple Table. My name's Nathaniel. This is a channel where we discuss role-playing games, so if that's something you're interested in, I would love to have you join me at the table. That means hit the subscribe and the bell notification. The Khan are a breed of Bastet who are Weretigers. They are very cool looking, they are very powerful, they have a ferocious temper. They are also notorious for not being very patient. In the glory days of ancient times for the Bastet, and the Khan specifically, they were worshipped as gods. If you look back in human history, you can find many examples of when tigers were revered, or cats in general were revered. If you look at Egypt, although not necessarily tigers specifically, but they did worship cats. The Khan, while they may be insufferable bastards, they do actually have a redeeming quality. They consider themselves protectors of the lesser, those who are maybe not as strong as the Khan, or as gifted as the Khan would actually probably call themselves. In ancient times, the Khan could be found throughout all of Asia, as well as Malaysia, Indonesia, with other small spatterings that could be found within India and Nepal. During these times, the Khan ruled as sultans, and it wasn't until as recently as 1950 that the last sultan actually fell. This particular event with the sultan, he actually betrayed the Khan kind, and they nearly were wiped out from existence. Many of you will know that the tiger is on the endangered species list. Fortunately, the Khan were able to persist. They developed a relationship with the Bagheera, actually, and I covered them in a different video, so you can check the description down here to check out the Bagheera. Though the relationship between the Khan and the Bagheera is strong, and behind the scenes, they help each other out quite a bit. Khan pride would never allow them to admit that they had been receiving help in this way in an open setting. Before I touch on the Sultan War, the one who betrayed the Khan in the 1950s, I will encourage you to subscribe and hit that bell notification, and if you're enjoying the video, please hit that like button as well. The event that led to the Khan downfall and the near extinction of their species was called the Rackbur War. This was actually a feud between two Khan warlords, and things kind of came to a head in 1950s, although this started 3 years earlier in 1947. This happened in India. The tensions between India and the English, while they had their occupation, they came to an overboil. Each group was vying for power to control the area, Lord Rackbur being on the English side, and Sultan Amir Nagda being on the India side. Their groups were clashing for control of the Indias, which was a very large and very important trade hub even during the 1950s. But going way back into earlier civilization, it was also a very important spot for trade. And the English Khan, Lord Rackbur, was not a very nice person. While he did have power, he used it for all the wrong reasons. He was trying to continue his lineage and making sure that all of his children had the changing breed ability. And when he found out that all of the children that he had sired did not possess this ability to change, he had them all killed. He also had his wife killed, basically by throwing her in a fire. And in his final last act of desperation to control the Indias, he actually used a Yava against his own race. During an eclipse, while all of the Khan were asleep, and I'll cover that more in a minute, Lord Rackbur had sent assassins to kill all of the Khan who were standing up against him. They belonged to Sultan Amir Nagda. This was the great betrayal. By using his own tribe's weakness to carry out such a evil thing to try to gain power just for himself, Lord Rackbur was successful, but he was also killed for it as well. Thus, the Khan had such low numbers. And it was because of this event that the Khan spread out across the globe to not only try to increase their numbers, but to protect themselves by not having everybody in one place. So what does a Khan look like? Well, in the olden days, they would have been from the Asias, Malaysia, Indonesia, as well as a little bit of India and Nepal. Today, they can come from anywhere because of their mass exodus of their homelands in the 1950s. As far as taking mates, the Khan used to be quite selective and quite tribal, not going outside of their own little tribal histories. They do not have that luxury anymore. Now the Khan seek desirable traits in their particular partners. So they're looking for things like strength, ambition, dedication to the protection of their fellows. Basically, they'll look for anybody who can put the battle against Asura above any of their own needs. In their war forms, as I mentioned, the Khan are very big and very powerful. They will actually rival the size of even some of the biggest Gural and some of the largest Simba. With them being so massively built, in their human forms they will tend to be rather large, so you're looking at around 300 pounds. And of course, their war forms, they will actually be around 800 pounds. So let's talk briefly about the Yava of the Khan tribe. The Khan belong to the tribe of the sun. This means that when the sun is asleep, the Khan should be asleep. During the days of an eclipse, the Khan will fall asleep for 1 day, and when they wake up, they will be extremely hungry, very ravenous. Very dangerous to have something that big get that hungry. The Khan also find it very difficult to resist the flesh of an innocent child. Although they have this dark desire within them, it goes against their laws to actually act on it. And because the Khan are so prideful, they cannot back down from a challenge that is issued to them directly. If they back down from this challenge, they will lose all of their rage for a fortnight, which for those of you who don't know, is a period of time that lasts about 2 weeks. I really like the Khan. I think that they are great for somebody who's looking for a very ambitious character, seeing as how Khan will typically have places of power because that's just who they are. They're very driven type of people. And you get to play a Weretiger, so that's cool. I found in the Changing Breed book for the Khan, there wasn't a ton of information around a lot of the things that they were referencing. I actually had to go to some of the older source material to find out a little bit more about what they were talking about. I have probably made some grand oversimplifications, especially when we're talking about the Nagda Rackbur War. Regardless, now you have some more information about the Khan. Have you ever played a Khan character or one of the best at Changing Breeds? If you did, tell me what you liked about it, what your character was like, because I want to know. I enjoyed this kind of stuff. And I hope you enjoy it too. Up on the screen now, I will have a playlist of other werewolf changing breeds that I have covered. YouTube will have also made a recommendation for you on the screen there. My name's Nathaniel. You've been watching The Maple Table. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.